All right, guys, we're here again with DJ Dante for part two of his life story.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Well, there you go,
That's
guys.
a whole nother session.
Here's another session for you guys. Ready? Where
So
do we leave off at?
last time we were just talking about like haunted stuff and in high school, but my story, my like if you want to know more so where my inspiration came from and all that, I would say like when I was about 10 years old, 9, 10, and I got introduced to MTV.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we didn't have cable before that, so MTV was like the big deal.
Yeah.
And I remember I would always, on the VHS tapes, I would always record music videos on
Yeah.
tapes. This is before YouTube, mind you.
Yeah.
And I would have these tapes, and I would just like freaking fast forward to whatever video I wanted to watch.
Mhm.
Like I would always have that fascination with music videos. It was all about music videos, and then I would have my brother be the star. Now we made little fake music videos and shit.
Yeah.
So like it was just, and I wouldn't like. I of course I had a Nintendo 64 and shit, but it was always like fascination with that kind of world and like behind the scenes and all that type of stuff. So as I got older, we performed in front of the school. We did, and we did that music stuff at lunch. So I mean, it just like there was always some kind of fascination within that world.
So did you feel more attracted to like theater art, or like were you more fascinated of the music side of it? Because that's two different things.
I would say both. Just because like I could have been fascinated with movies, and I had a little fascination with behind the scenes, but when when it combined the music with the video, like it like both of them together, I would say kind of like made it even more intense. So I mean, obviously 2000s videos were all about formation. They're very like you had to be, like you had to dance in line, you had to be like all like it was all, but if you realize like it was all patterns, it was all everything had to be in a certain formation. Now, I mean, they're trying to bring it back, but I just don't feel like it's gonna have that same effect that it did back in the day.
You said that they're trying to bring it back. Personally, I don't really see music videos because everything's on YouTube, and MTV is not really
They call it visuals now.
Yeah, in people's lives as much.
It's funny visuals. I'm like, that would have been it makes sense, but they've come a long way. Obviously, that was our era.
Yeah.
But now when I see them now, it's like they're just trying to. You could tell now they're more about promoting.
Yeah.
That's what it was intentionally, but like there was an art behind it. They went, they did everything. They planned it. Now it's like, all right, we're gonna do this, shoot here, and let's see how it goes.
So how do you feel on growing up on MTV to now like the more music videos that are more like satanic? How do you feel that transition is? Do you think there's something behind there? Are there like hidden messages, or what are your thought process as a producer, as a writer, as a DJ, or what do you think?
I think music in general has always had a dark art behind it, because you look at people like the Beatles. Like they did their thing. Like they have numbers. Their numbers are high. Like I cannot dock them for what they did. They did an amazing thing. But when it comes to the sound of it, the engineering part of it, I don't feel they sound that great. Like there's other artists that sounded better, but there has to be some kind of force behind it that's like, this is what is popular. This is what's the shit. And you get artists that, like the Michael Jackson versus Prince thing, I will always like my shit is Prince. Like my shit is always Prince. And for that reason is because it's like you got somebody who was molded to become a star, and there's somebody who was naturally talented. Michael Jackson was a better artist, everything together. Prince was a better musician. But why, like that goes with the conversation of like, I think Thriller, that album, I don't think that song was the best song on the album.
Yeah.
I think that song was...
What do you think was the best
song? PYT.
You think so?
PYT, Beat It.
Yeah.
Those were the ones that were less... They were known, but they weren't like for me, Thriller. Though I think the whole reason why it was big is, mind you, MTV. We're going back to MTV. Didn't want to push black artists out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was a big deal in that time.
Yeah.
They didn't want to push black artists out, and I think Michael Jackson's label said, if you don't push his videos out, we're gonna pull everybody from our label. And what did he do? He went big.
Yeah.
So it was an impact. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect. They were smart marketing. They were intelligent. They were like, we're not just gonna do a video. We're gonna do a whole movie. So you get artistry like that versus Prince, who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna write some shit. I'm gonna be creative. I'm gonna be myself, but I don't give a fuck. So like, but then again, look at all the issues Michael Jackson had.
Yeah.
You know, like people coming forward and this and this and that. Prince didn't have those issues. You don't hear.
He did have those issues. They were just more hush hush about it.
He fucking handled them in a way that was like, this is the way it's supposed to be handled. Now Michael Jackson's selling millions of records. Of course, someone's gonna fucking come after him. Yeah. Oh shit, he got money. Fuck. Yeah. Now, can we say those allegations are true? I don't fucking know. We don't know that. We weren't there. We're not gonna dock. I mean, maybe those. What if they really were victims and we're saying that they weren't? Like, we don't know that. But like I said, look at the controversy he had versus, the one over here who did his thing, stayed quiet for years, and that was it. That was his life. Like, he was cool. Michael Jackson has struggled to the end, like the end of days. Yeah. And I think there was a dark art that had to go behind that, because it's like, I mean, maybe it was his fucking dad.
As a producer, if anybody were ever give you the opportunity to choose that route, would you take that route?
No.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
No.
So they promise you fame, fortune, everything you could dream of. Your music being heard by millions and millions of people, you will turn it down in an instant.
And you want to know why? There's people out there that have made it without doing that. Now, do they stay relevant? No. Do they? But they're happy.
Do you think it's those one-hit wonders that made it?
I think it's the people behind the studio. The people that they make their hits. They're good. They're talented. But then, like, when it comes to their next album or whatever, it's like, eh. But I think that you have to some extent, because it's shady business. You got to think the people that are in control of that don't have any musical knowledge. Yeah. They're just like, okay, this person's good. I can make money off of that. Yeah. But are they musically inclined? No. So they're gonna look for the best thing that's gonna sell. Yeah. They don't give a fuck about anything else. You can be talented as fuck, like I said, but when it comes to like what they actually know about music, it's not about music. It's about money, which is an obvious. I mean, I think that's anything though. Yeah. We're talking about anything. Would I do it? No, because it's not worth it. Because a lot of those people are scared. They have to hide. They have to like live their life, people knowing who they are, but at the same time, they have to, like, I don't want to live in fucking fear. Like, fuck that. I'd rather be like, happy and like enjoy my life, enjoy the sunlight, and be good with that. That'd be scary though. To be honest, that'd be a scary route. I mean, I bet it's bound to happen though. It'll probably come up, but I mean, if I stay strong in who I am, I'm sure I'll be like, nah, I'm good.
Just brush them off like that.
No, they're not. They wouldn't be easy to brush off like that. They're not. They'll probably pressure the fuck out of me. That's like, we're talking hypothetically,
You never know. I mean, it's like now the producers make music, singers make music. They spend all this money, but then they get taken out by a TikToker or somebody who has a backing on YouTube. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think there's a dark force behind that as well?
I think less and less, because now people got smarter. Before, it was like you had to be super talented to make it even in through one door. Now it's like, all right, I could get people to follow me, and then I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to make a song. So does that mean it's going to be big and it's going to, no, but they're going to continue to have their followers, because that's their following. That's who follows them. They have their, their viewers, their people. So Irregardless whether they make a shitty song or they make a fucking shitty movie, whatever they want to do, they're gonna continue to have those followers until some controversy comes up and it's like that, all this stuff. Um, when they make it big, there could be. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but I mean, it's. But those dark forces can be anything.
Yeah.
It can come in the form of any fucking thing, sex, money, any fucking thing. It can just be anything. So I think no matter what, when the bigger you get, the more exposure, you're always gonna have even more and more.
Yeah.
The more money, more problems. What I say, shit like
Biggie
that.
Smalls.
Yeah, more money, more problems. Like it's true. Because even when I was living in the high rise with my friend, like in her house, I don't know why. Like it was so nice, but I could not get comfortable. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like it's just weird.
Yeah.
To be able to walk out and not see people walking around, hear elotero, anything like that. Like to not hear that was weird.
Yeah.
It was like it's too fucking quiet here. I was like, it's fucking quiet as fuck. But I mean, there's dark forces anywhere, even whether it's fame or not. It's just money. There's in business world and anything. It's gonna be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody holy. I mean, there's people that are holy, but there's nowhere in this world that you can go to hide from that shit. It's gonna be anywhere you go. You can try to keep shit out of your life and protect it as much as you can, but it's gonna seep through somewhere. Definitely, it's gonna seep through somewhere. It's gonna try to get in. So, best thing to do is just fucking know who you are and yourself. Stay true to yourself. That's it.
So moving forward, where do you see yourself, say, in the near future, 3 months from now?
I want to continue writing more. There is a project that I want to push out soon. I've pitched it to a couple people. They're like, okay, you know, we like this. It's just you need to figure out what you want to do with it. Does it mean it's going to get big? I don't know. But it's definitely something that I'm pushing, that I'm going to push. Like, I want to produce it, but I think it needs to be big production produced because it's my idea versus what it actually might be two different things. But I want big production on it because I think it'll sound pretty dope if it was big production. But I mean, I'm gonna continue working on things for myself, like little songs, like remix, all that. But on the other hand, I want to continue writing. I'm gonna continue, you know, hopefully put some stuff out. I don't even know if I want to become the full-blown artist.
Yeah.
I might just want to pitch it to other people because I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I know it sounds stupid, but I feel like I'm too old to be trying to get in that game. Like I'm way too old. I should have, if I would have done that, I should have done it when I was like 15, 14, 16, like trying to get into the game. But I would write for other people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind producing. I wouldn't mind doing background for them. But I wouldn't do like full blown. I don't see myself as like a full blown like front of the person artist, like in front of the everything artist.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. But that TikTok and that Instagram is so competitive.
It is very competitive.
That fuckers.
I feel like, I mean, get involved or get his music out there or get more exposure.
I mean, you can use it, but everybody's on there. Like, you need to find
a niche,
like a platform where there's not as many people on it. Or if you use TikTok and Instagram, you gotta be different, like super different for people to be like, damn, who's that guy right there? But that's where everybody finds everything.
Yeah. That's why I keep telling you, why don't you try to go live on TikTok, you know. Well, for him, it's DJing.
For you, it would be good.
Instagram's the only place I can go live. Because TikTok, you need at least like 1,000 followers. And I'm like,
okay. Buy him.
I heard,
See, guys, you know that DJ Dannte is big when he picks up his phone in the middle of an interview.
Tuyoworld. I like that. Tuyoworld.
Yeah.
We were gonna do for the other one. We're gonna do Tres Leches, but there's so many like that. Tres Leches podcast. There's like so many that have that already. I was like, oh fuck.
Would you? It's.
I'd be caramelo. Caramelo. Dulce de leche. Oh shit. But yeah, they're very, and it's funny because like 2 years ago when I wasn't trying to like DJ as much, I could give less of a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like,
it's because now you see it as a business.
yeah, and it's like, okay, I gotta watch what I post. I gotta watch what I say. I gotta watch. Like,
but then, don't you think you're like chopping away at your own self, which makes you unique? Or do you want to be a cookie cutter like everybody else?
I don't think cookie cutter, but you gotta remember they can and will use anything against you.
Who gives a fuck?
True. But I mean, like I said,
bro, we grew up in the 90s.
Yeah. I just saw a video.
We're not sensitive to what people say. At least I'm not. Are you sensitive?
Do I care? Yeah, but I mean, I'm sensitive, but not to a point where like I feel like I could ride the waves of being all right, whatever, I don't give a fuck, you know. But because it's like when you turn your phone off and all that bullshit, you're here. Like this moment right now, if people are talking shit on me, whatever, the fucking online or whatever, but we're here at this moment, so why not live here instead of what's going on online?
So why don't you do that?
Like literally,
use that same mentality for your own benefit, like against social media.
Because that's why my Instagram and my TikTok and Snapchat, I don't get my notifications. Like I don't have a thing where it pops up because I'm like, for what? Yeah, it's like for what? So everyone can know people are messaging me on there. Like the fuck?
Why not? It could be. What if it's a giant producer?
Oh,
and trying to get a hold of you. You see, and then you just went from like not noticing, like okay, you know, I should have called him back 5 minutes ago. You call him back 2 hours ago. How does that make you look?
That is
right.
Maybe like
what if he's like right?
Maybe like I mean the only thing about that is like maybe the DJ page I would switch that to just because it's more business oriented, but my regular one.
But that's the one that's gonna be constantly blowing up. Like we have that with our business page, is that it always blows up. It's always ringing, not ringing, but like notifying us. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, because people are up at different times.
That is true. I'm up at like fucking 4 or 5 a.m. because of my job. That is true.
I would say your business, yeah, but all my personal social media notifications are off. And if people message me, like I had somebody message me yesterday, one of my friends about our garage sale that we had. They're like, "Oh, is that at your parents' house?" They messaged me at 4:30. I didn't respond until like 9:30. But that's even like I don't. It's not important to me. But
and you know that was from
studio, like if somebody was like, "Hey, are you at the studio?" and I saw it 2 hours later, like that could be a loss of money for us.
That is true.
So that's why, like on the business page, I do have that one like to get notifications, but personal, I could care less. Like I'll get back to you when I get back to you. Like,
true.
I'm living my life right now and I'm busy.
The funniest ones are when like I'll go on there. Oh, what are you doing? It was like 5 hours later. Like, oh shit! Like fuck, my bad. I'm sleeping.
Or text me. Like, why are you here?
Yeah, for me, I'm still a texter. Like, just fucking text or call me.
When people call me and text me, or like try to start a conversation in DM. I'm like, dude, you have my phone number. Like, why? Like Snapchat. Like when people would go back and forth messages, I'm like, why are we going back and forth? Like, text me.
Or they send me invitations on Instagram, but they have my number.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I've gotten that.
Maybe because it's easier to make. It's easier to make.
This person, instead of text messaging like one. Yeah, that is true. That's a good point.
And also, there's that you can make whatever you want. The platform allows you to create a flyer or create something.
That is true.
You know.
I mean,
I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that. I mean,
yeah, it makes sense. So that's why I'm saying this shit with like it all came so quick, especially for me. I wasn't expecting that, mind you. Like this was like maybe February, March. One of my coworkers was like, "Hey, you DJ, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah," you know, like thinking like it was just like he was asking me a random question. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna need you to perform for me for 15 on the July 15th." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Oh, okay."
it was like surreal to you.
Like it was like you know, kind of like yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Mm.
You know, and it was crazy because the preparation for that, it should have been like, boom, I'm gonna just do this, and fuck it. But because it was such a big fucking deal, it turned into a whirlwind for me. It was like my world went from like having to be myself to like now thinking with a professional mind and thinking more on like, okay, you can't fuck this up.
Yeah.
You got to give it all.
Yeah.
You got to push. I bought 2 more speakers. I already had my mics. I had to get another set of lights. The guys were trying to figure out, should we get this? Should we get that? What do you want to do? And we ended up getting more than we needed. But honestly, at the end of the day, that's what made that moment. Like it really made it shine, because it was like we didn't know what the fuck to expect. Mind you, I always tell this story. It was like, I think that day I had bought so much shit that I was like, bro.
Yeah.
I think I only made $50 off that first party too.
Yeah.
Like, because I had to pay the guys out because they were putting way more than I was.
Yeah.
I think I had bought my speakers, and that like fucking put me to like, and I'll never forget this. It's like I was up there performing with like $14 in my account. When I tell you that hustler mentality kicked in and said, you can't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot fuck this up.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the time to fuck up. And just like, I'm thinking like, dude, what am I going to do? Like, what the fuck? And then eventually, as the parties came in more and more and more and more, I was like, all right, there was a little leniency.
Yeah.
But the majority of that money I made this summer was like went back into buying other shit. So it wasn't like, it wasn't even like
your business.
It wasn't even like I was able to make a bunch of money yet. I still haven't made a lot of money yet. You know, and
so elaborate a little bit. If someone were to try to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Usually through Instagram, or they text me.
What's your tag?
What do you mean tag?
Yeah, like say a random person. How do they reach out to you?
That's how they did with the wedding. So what happened was the 15. They saw that video, and this is from my page though.
Yeah,
my personal page. This is before I even made a DJ Dannte page. They saw that. Hey, you're DJing now? Like big. I was like, oh yeah, you know, like, hey, my friend needs you for a wedding. Mind you, the first one was a 15. Now I got a fucking wedding. So I'm like, this summer, like, honestly, I blacked out a couple of times because it was like, to me, that was surreal. First of all, that's something that I've always wanted to do. Secondly, it's really happening. When it's in your face, sometimes you don't know how to handle it. To be honest, like when what you wanted is in your face, that's why a lot of people, like, when they get to where they want to be, like, they don't know how to handle it. That's why they always say God can't give you more than you can handle. But I almost like slipped back. Like, I almost regressed back into that person, and I couldn't, because now I had a force behind me. It's like, dude, you need to fucking do it. Like, you can't fucking back down. And she saw the Instagram, said, can we get you to, you know, can my friend, he's gonna hit you up. Yeah. He's gonna talk to you about a wedding. So I'm like, oh shit, like a wedding, like what the fuck? Like, I was just doing this shit for fun. Yeah. And now first one was a 15, second one's a wedding. So I'm like, shit, like those 2 big deals, you know? So, you know, they contact me, and like we had this meeting, and the girl was Colombian and he was Mexican. So right there, right in my mind, I was already like, dude, they're 2 cultures. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Yeah. And she was nervous because they had 2 weddings, one at his family's house and the other one at like a hall, like a small hall. Yeah. She was worried because it was his family. She didn't think she was gonna have fun. Let me tell you, that girl by the end of the night was twerking. Like, that wedding, like, we still talk about it to this day. Yeah. It's like, bro, I don't know what happened, but dude, that shit went off. And mind you, like, I couldn't drink anymore because like I was, you know, I had kind of gone through some shit with drinking, and like I was like, dude, you don't even know how bad I wanted to get out there and fucking drink with them. Like, I wanted to be a part of it, but I had to remember that I was behind. Like, I'm in the background. Like, I can't mix that. So that ended up being, I got that gig because of what I posted. It all had to do with what I posted, and they offered me the second one. Now, when I got to the second one, we had issues because I don't know, something about some chords. I had mixed them up, and like they were missing.
This was internal or external issues?
I would say
Like within
external.
your team or outside your team?
Oh, this was personal.
Okay.
Because what had happened was like my mixer had fucked up. One of the knobs like broke. So I took it to our friends. I took everything out of my bag. And when I brought it back home, I didn't put everything back in. Mind you, the two main chords are in there. So mind you, I'm there. I'm like, dude, I'm missing my chords. What the fuck? Like, and this is a wedding. Like, you can't fuck that up. So like, when our car was shitting bricks, I was shitting fucking bricks. Like, dude, how does this happen? Like, dude, I'm so careful with that shit. And then I got through it.
What you want to talk about?
How did you get interested in this place?
Me? You're questioning me now? Yeah. I'm just kidding.
I want to talk about your business. This, by the way, this is gorgeous. This is beautiful. If you guys can see it, I'm sure we're gonna have a day where we go around. But this is beautiful.
Thanks.
This whole setup is just beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Everything's nice.
Yeah, definitely different than what I'm used to. I guess I'll come in the picture.
So is this considered your full-time job?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're running. That's cool.
Yeah. So I came from corporate life. So I worked dang that face.
Yeah, because it's like
I know, it's different. It's different.
It's funny because I work in a corporate place when I'm so like myself and rowdy.
Yeah.
That's why I work nights. Because I was like, if I was in a day, I would have probably got fired already. But it's not like I'm terrible. It's just like I'm just loud. I'm like, hey, like very corporate's like, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, yes and no. I've worked at a lot of I work in HR, so I do human resources.
Oh dang. Oh wow.
So so we have to know how to balance, like, I guess, know when to kind of be bubbly and when to be like serious and all that. So you have to like learn how to adjust. And that's hard for me because I'm extrovert, right?
Yeah.
So there are times when like we're doing things and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, wait, shoot, like I'm at work. So I get you. But I mean, I've worked at companies where they're very like serious, strict. And then I've worked at like really laid back companies. But yeah, I've worked in HR for like over 6 years. I've always had like steady jobs, like stability and all that stuff. So this is definitely different for me, kind of quitting corporate, not having like the stability. It's more of like, you got to really hustle. You have to go and make that money, not like you're going to get that check like every 2 weeks.
How long did it take you to get into like HR? Because I thought about it, but I'm like, I think like, how long did it take you to get into like an actual HR spot?
Not long. I got my bachelor's in HR, and then
that's why you got a bachelor's.
Yeah, I got my bachelor's in HR, and then I had an internship when I was in college. So I started like as soon as like I was already taking my courses, I got an internship at the same time, and it was non-paid. And I got an internship that way I can get the experience. So once I graduate, I can actually get into like an HR corporate job.
Oh wow!
But I mean, it's not bad. A lot of people like you can get into HR. It's just you have to have that personality. Like not anybody can be in HR. Like you have to have thick skin.
You have to fire people.
Yes, you have to have thick skin because yes, I fired multiple people.
How does that feel? What about talk to me about the first time you had to fire somebody.
It was hard for me the first time just because I'm an emotional, sensitive person, and I've been on both sides. I mean, I've never gotten fired, but I've been on both sides. Like I've been somebody looking for a job, but then I've also been interviewing people, right? Like, and it sucks. It is hard, especially because you don't know their situation. You don't know if they have a family. You don't know if they have kids. You just don't know their life situation. And it's just, it's not our decision. It's mostly like the manager's decision because they're the ones who are looking at your performance, all that, but they come to us to consult with us first. Like, hey, this is kind of what's going on. I've already had like a PIP with them, which is like a performance plan. So like, let's say I put you on a PIP and then we revisit 30 days, but then you're still not like performing, right? Then it goes like to the next one. So it's like they come to us to do more of like a consulting thing to make sure that they're not going to like break any laws or they're not firing somebody for like the wrong reason where they can come sue the company, all this stuff. So we have to kind of consult them too in a way where it's like, no, you're okay. Like if they gotten written up, they've had performance issues, like you have examples, you have the proof, like it's a valid reason. But like you can't just be like, I'm gonna fire this person. Like you have to have a reason,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my first time having to let somebody go, my manager came in and she's like, hey, we're doing like a huge layoff. And we're gonna need your help. And I said, okay, yeah, what do you need help? Like paperwork stuff? She's like, no, like we're gonna assign you certain people and you're gonna have to let them know like that they're being let go. And that was like my first like actual HR job. And I didn't think I would get into that as quickly as I did because it was more of like a beginner like HR role. It was like more of like a coordinator, like assistant type of level. But because we didn't really have that many people on our HR team, they brought me in. And so my first one, like after I did it, like I literally had to like run to the restroom and like tell myself like, okay, like, you have to like understand, like I can't be emotional because if I show emotion, then it's just going to make things worse. So you have to have like really, really, really thick skin. So
I can imagine.
yeah, it's not easy and it sucks because like I said, I feel for people. Like I have emotions, I'm sensitive, I feel for people. So it's really hard for me, but I will say after you've done a few, I'm not going to say it's easy because each situation is different, right?
Yeah.
Like each person that you talk to is different. And I've heard stories, like I have like a really close family friend that she actually let somebody go and that person came back looking for her with a gun. So it's like some people like that's why it's our roles are really like hard and people think that they're not, but our role is pretty hard because that's not all we do. We don't just hire fire. Like we do like recruiting, we're like trying to do like fix employee relations, like employee problems. Like we also help with compensation, how to run the company, like how to make the company better, like events. Like there's a lot that goes into our roles. But I mean, yeah, I mean I've heard crazy stories. Thank God, like I haven't had any crazy stories yet, but there's definitely been a lot of crazy things that I've heard and people come like look for you and like yeah, so it's like you have to be very like careful that you don't say like the wrong thing. You have to make sure like you like provide them with the paperwork, you show them like hey, like this is kind of the reasons why this is happening and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people say HR is the bad people like in the company,
really
but it's really not. we're I mean yeah, we obviously are going to like help out the company, but we also like try to help the employee too, because if the manager just comes to us and says like this person I can't, like I don't want them on my team, it's like, well, why? You can't just say that. Like there has to be a reason, there has to be backup to it. We're not just gonna be like, okay, fire them. So we also try to like vouch for the employees too. So we're kind of like the middle person, so but yeah, but I mean I still want to do it. I might start doing like consulting, that way I can focus here too as well. But right now I am just at Tuyo, so it is full time here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And for me personally, I mean, thank God I haven't really had to deal with HR. I mean,
Yeah.
knock on wood. But I mean, I always just try to like, I'm loud enough to where like they know who I am, but I'm also quiet enough to for them not to like mention me or have to write me up or anything. Like my personality is my personality, and I mean, they know who I am, but like when it comes to other areas, I try to like, because they don't know me like that.
Yeah.
So the people that do know me, they know who I am. I'm this, I'm that,
Yeah.
I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I like to, but at the same time, when it gets strict on me is when I have to like be quiet and like sit back. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I gotta revert back.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like as long as you get your shit done,
yeah,
you can be who you want to be.
That is true. That's the main thing.
I mean, yeah.
But then again, like I've heard a lot of stuff about HR too. Is like they also go after, like, if somebody's constantly complaining, those are the people that are like, you gotta like, keep an eye out on that one.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot that goes into it. I mean, even when we have employee relation issues or like even workers' comp, like I've dealt with workers' compensation before and I actually caught somebody lying. So it's like, yeah, so those situations are hard too, because it's like you want to believe that they really got an injury from work, but you also have to investigate into that. And sometimes like people, they lie, but they try to play it off. And it's like you have to investigate, you have to like, we have to talk to the doctor, we have to have like letters, like there's a lot that goes into it. And I mean I caught somebody lying, like even with COVID, I caught, like, because I was handling COVID at one point, I think I caught like maybe 5 people that lied about a positive test, and that's just like you're cut. Like,
oh, they automatically
just terminated,
because
because
how would you able to find that out?
That's something. Well, because okay, so I'll tell you one, which was like the stupidest. I can't believe this guy did this, but it was at one of my previous jobs, and I was, like I said, I was handling all the COVID stuff, and he like emailed our like inbox for COVID and was like, "Hi, like I tested positive for COVID, blah blah. Here's my test results," because they have to send in their test results. Obviously, like if you send it digitally, it's like you can kind of mess with it, right? And so I've seen so many like positives and just so many tests in general. I know like the shading of like the color. I know like how like the test looks. I know like what's negative, what's positive. Like I know everything, right? So I know if you have tampered with it. And so this one guy, I was like, okay, cool. And he was working in our South Dakota office. And I was like, okay. So I pull up the image and I looked at it and I just started laughing. And I'm like, did this guy really do this? So what he did was he had a negative test, okay? Because you can see like that like light purplish, like that negative, like inside, like the little white section of like the strip.
The strip.
But the second line was like, you know when you use the paint tool in like Word?
Oh my.
He did like a second line, but the second line didn't match the same color as like the actual line, and it was crooked.
Oh.
And I'm just like, dude, are you serious? So then I had to like, go to like our head of like legal and just be like, hey, this is kind of what happened. Here's the email. Here's the test. Like, here's the pictures and stuff. So we had asked before we automatically like let him go. We did tell him like his business partner, his HR business partner called him and said, hey, so-and-so, like, we understand that you had tested positive. It seems like there's like, we can't really read your test. Can you please come in to the office and take another test? Oh. And he said, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there like around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever time it was. And then it comes to that time and he never showed up. So then the business partner like called him and said, hey, like, I thought you were going to come in. And he was like, yeah, at that point he like admitted like, I don't have COVID. I just like lied. And she was like, okay. She's like, you understand like this is going to result into termination because you lied. Like you literally lied like about something because he wanted to take time off. So it's like things like that. And that's why I'm saying like our job is hard, but at the same time, like I feel like employees or some employees are just the things that they think of or the things that they do. I'm just like, why? Like, why? Like you're just putting your job at risk. Like, why would you do that?
Most of the time,
like,
just tell the truth, honestly.
Yeah, just be honest. Just be like, you know what? I didn't test positive. Or if you wanted to take time off, like ask your manager like, hey, like this is my situation, I need time off, like you know what I mean, like don't lie about something because it's like now you're like jobless. Like
not only that, but like think about it like this, like when the scare of COVID first started, it was fucking scary. We didn't know what to think. So imagine saying you had COVID and it's like and it's like not true. So it's like the big scare about it all was like fucking we didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen.
And it's not just that. It's like if somebody tests, then I have to like put together like a letter for that building, like and send it out to everybody. I have to like call like the health workforce. I have to call like OSHA. I have to do like this. I have to file paperwork. Like it's like a lot goes on our end too as HR. And it's like that's why when we got those positive tests, we're like, shoot, like we got to send a letter. We got to get cleaning crew to come in to like disinfect the whole building, like or where they were at. Like there was a lot of steps that went into it. So it's like for you to lie and then like stress us out and then be like, oh shit, there's like somebody positive at that office, like now we got to like hit up all these people, like it's a process too on our end. But I mean, like I said, I just sometimes the things that people do or think of doing, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just like, why? Like you just literally put your job at risk and now you're fired. Like, and you can't file for unemployment. Like what are you going to say? Like I lied about a COVID test. Like unemployment's not going to pay you for that. Like, and they're strict too. Like unemployment is super strict. Like they don't just like, they don't pay you right away. Like they interview, like they'll call you, ask you questions, and they call the employer and ask questions. They send the employer like a form saying that you had like applied. And then it says, are these statements accurate? Is this the reason why he was terminated? She was terminated, whatever. Like
I don't know all that.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a lot.
Damn.
It's a lot that goes into it.
But damn, I can imagine. It's just HR's probably.
Yeah.
It's not an easy.
It's not.
I bet it's not.
Yeah. You can come in too. Oh.
I don't believe in aliens.
Aliens? I don't believe in that stuff.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about aliens, man.
You really believe that?
Oh,
There's
this
things
fool,
called
hey.
Photoshop, and there's things called edit.
Hey, don't we believe in him? He eats Takis for breakfast, bro.
Hey, it's okay. I eat hot Cheetos for breakfast sometimes.
He eats Takis for breakfast.
He said you eat Takis for breakfast?
Oh man.
I don't know. Do you believe in stuff like that? Like,
Aliens? Nah. I mean, there's something out there. Just the whole alien thing, I don't think it's. I think they kind of blow it out of proportion. I think there is something,
yeah.
but not like what I would say is a full blown, like, I don't know.
Like for us to worry.
There's something out there, but not like, not anything that I would say is like extraterrestrial. I mean, there is creatures out here. There is things that are weird that are in this world, but
Yeah.
full blown aliens, I'm like skeptical about that one.
Yeah. I don't believe that stuff.
See, I go more into like the spiritual realm. I believe in all that. People do have things.
So you believe in like spirits? Like there's ghosts and like
I
people that are dead, like are.
I can't see them. I've never been able to see them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never. Thank God. I mean, I think it'd be scary as fuck. There's people that do see shit. I don't feel like but do I believe? I just go off of vibes, and vibrations for me are real.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like people do have something. If they have something attached to them, it's just you could feel it.
You can feel it.
You can feel people's vibes. So I think there is a spiritual realm out here that. I mean, I don't know if I'm lucky not to be able to see it, but I haven't been able to see it.
What would you do if you saw it?
I don't know. Because then those people get marked as crazy.
You heard that, Carlos? You're crazy.
No, they get marked as crazy.
He should get marked as crazy.
Because
Because you see spirits, or you see like.
You see a lot of stuff, huh?
He sees things.
I don't see it.
You see things too? You're not on the wave. That's what it's called. It's the wave.
Takis.
What you say you don't believe in?
No, I say I can't see
He
it.
said he doesn't believe in aliens. He thinks that there might be, but no, we were talking about spirits.
All these billions and billions of stars, that there's no other life forms out there.
I think it's a little. Maybe there is, but like I said, the people that can see like ghosts and stuff, I think those people get marked as crazy. But do I believe they're real? Yeah, of course I do.
So you believe it?
I told him, "What would you do if you saw someone?" And he was like, "I don't know."
I
get scared.
I mean, it's probably like, okay, what now? What the fuck do I do? Like, okay.
What if he tells you, come with me?
Where are we gonna go? What's some ghost dick?
I want to see. He's like, I want to see the
Ghost Rider
DJ Nalgas, DJ Caliente Nalgas,
Caliente Nalgas,
Dante.
And that ghost dick.
I do.
Aliens?
You?
What are we talking about? Aliens or ghosts?
So, like spirits and stuff.
Oh, that shit's real.
So you're telling me you believe in the outside wall? Do you believe the Earth is flat?
The flat Earth theory, that there's aliens inside and stuff?
Yeah.
Like mole people or something?
Not mole people, but like we're like basically like Game of Thrones, where the ice wall around us.
I believe in some stuff like that. Well, did you not see that they banned the exploration of, what is it, Alaska?
No, it's Antarctica. Antarctica.
They stopped the complete exploration. Like no one can go there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's certain areas that are off limits.
Well, yeah, because it's cold as fuck.
It's not really.
Well, there's other shit. I know there's shit down there.
Is there? Are you sure it's down there and not up there?
Could be the North Pole. I don't know.
What if we're in a terrarium?
Well, we're like the second layer of
That too.
What's that movie that we were watching? Big Short or Short People or what?
Or Downsize?
Have you guys seen the movie Downsize?
Yeah.
like the 90s movie?
No, the 2014, 16.
Big Daddy.
That's
That's
like a
Big
movie
Daddy.
where, like, I guess these people, they live like in a world, but then
They live in our same world,
they live
but
in our same world, but then
they're
there's
seeing that like money's not carrying so much.
Mm-hmm.
So people decided to shrink themselves,
like downsize themselves.
so the regular food or regular water lasts them longer, or like their bank account is more. They can make the dream mansion that they wanted.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with Mark Wahlberg. No,
Yeah.
Mark
I forgot his name.
Damien. Matt Damien.
What's that?
It's on Netflix.
What's that?
It made me think of another one.
Which one?
Like,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
remember that one?
That was what I was thinking.
The
That's
Cheerio
what-
with fucking the cucarachas are chasing them and shit.
That was a good movie.
What was the other one? There was another movie.
The 14 Years of Who.
Horton Hears a Who.
The what?
14 Years of Who.
Horny Hears. Oh yeah, that's right. Where he on the.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
there's another world in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's right.
Nah, that was just.
So Carlos had asked me, do you think that like there's a world like that and we just don't know about it, or maybe
No, I said
or
we
he
are
said, "Do you think
downsized
we
already.
Are downsized, and there's people that are bigger than us. Like,
Well, why haven't they already destroyed us then?
There's no need.
Bro, if you're
We're
a
in
peck,
two
if
different
you're a
worlds.
speck, bro, you really think they're gonna destroy you? Well, in that movie, they went down into the earth, and they're in a dome.
Like, what is that movie? Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah,
With what's his face?
The Rock,
Fraser? No, it's Fraser.
Brendan Fraser?
Brendan Fraser. Yeah,
That was like what, 2009?
yeah.
That could be
You
true,
know,
bro.
what if we're already downsized?
Yeah, but I wanna go in bird. That should be dope, bro. You seen that movie?
no, which one?
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
No.
It's a good movie. How
Nah.
about the volcano?
What was it?
No, I've never seen it.
There was another movie kind of like that. I forgot what the fuck it was.
Do you think those are hints to what is reality?
I mean, whatever the reality is, why question it?
Motherfucker, you're born to question.
Why question it though? I mean, to me, it's like,
I
well,
mean, do you not ever get to like feel like what the fuck am I here for?
I do, but for what? I mean, it's like, okay, I'm here.
So why wake up to go to work?
Exactly.
That's why I'm asking you. Why are you waking up to go to work?
Because I need to survive.
Why?
But why do you want to survive?
Because I want to live.
Why?
But why? Why do you want to live? I want to survive and I want to live the same thing. It's just a different form of question, different form of
But
answer.
my question is like why do you even like fucking bother to do anything every day out of every day of your life if you know that there's nothing? Like, what's the point?
Whether there is something or not.
Yeah, that's why like religion is in place. Because like back in the what was it, like the Roman days or something.
AD?
Yeah. No, like God was,
AD, bro.
no, but even after that, they did,
It's BC after that.
they did the homeless people. No, they did they're like, oh, I can be poor and I can live like a terrible life and I can die of like diseases, but as long as I believe in God, like I will go to heaven. And then that's why God became such popular in the poor like community.
Mhm.
Like a lot of poor people were like, oh my God, it's okay if I live a shitty life here. As long as I'm a good person, I have nothing. When I die, like I will be rich in that world.
Mhm.
That's why a lot of rich people were like what the fuck? Like, no, you're poor. Like you deserve to be poor. Like,
Mhm.
like I'm rich. I should be like in heaven.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's why God became popular in like the poor life.
That's why there was I think it was Family Guy did a thing where they went to Christian camp and they came out of it. And at the end of the episode, Lois is like, says something about like that only stupid people believe in religion. And I was like, and then the same thing with Mad TV.
Mhm.
They have a pair of twins where one of them is really smart, one of them is really dumb, and the one that's really dumb believes in God. So I think they have that. They try to make that comparison. It's like, oh, only people that are stupid believe in God, which is, I'm like, I noticed it because I caught on to. I was like,
Have you ever read like the Bible or anything?
Yeah, I've read the Bible. I read the Bible in different forms, in different
So
religions.
you don't believe in God?
Yeah, I believe there's a higher spirit.
So like a higher power.
I said, yeah, higher spirit. But we also have free will.
that is true. That is a common thing within the
You know?
Bible. They say you're free to do whatever you want.
So I believe that the Bible is a guide of how we should be our lives, but it's not a guide to tell you exactly step by step on how to live your life.
Yeah,
Because then we get rid of free will.
But another factor about
no. He gave you he literally free will is like you wake up in the morning, you get up and you do X.
Yeah.
That's free will. you're not. It's not like every day you have to wake up.
But then you go back. Now you go back to what's your destiny? Because if in the Bible, everyone's destined to be something or do something. If you're destined, then there's no free will.
Yes, but no.
No, what do you mean?
They say that you could.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. You're saying if you're destined to be somebody and then you try to go off that track,
Then there's no free will.
there's no free. Yeah. He's saying it more if you have a destiny.
But
There's no free will.
Isn't that like destiny isn't pre-written? That's like you create your destiny.
But then you also said that God in religion and in the Bible, God has a purpose for everybody here. So you're predestined to do something.
It's like
What do you mean, no?
I'm in the.
Oh, but I think what in his case, at the end of the day,
The Bible.
Yeah.
The one I go back to is the Mount Sinai.
Sinai.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm gonna test you.
Yeah.
Where he's like, either it's your choice whether you want to like follow.
Yeah, or not.
And then a lot of them, what do? They create their own like,
ball,
Mm-hmm.
bow or ball.
They create their own iron like statue and they worship.
Mhm.
It was a gold calf.
Yeah.
Oh, they were worshiping.
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't tell you to create that.
What the fuck?
And he's like, I gave you free will, but it's like, but I told you, I wrote it out like, it's like, you only believe in one God. And you just
But don't you think he did it to mock you?
I think he did it to show an example.
But we go back to the same thing of God sees all and creates all and has a destiny for you.
But I don't think he.
So if you predestined that these guys are already, it's like if I were to tell Danny, hey Danny, you have free will, you can look to the left or to the right. But if I already have a destiny that for you already, that I already know you're gonna look to the left, I'm setting you up to fail.
But I think the way that
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I think the way that he writes it, I was like, the destiny for you is to become great, but it's the way that you maneuver throughout your life that will get you there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you can become great in other forms.
Like here's another good example.
No. I don't think he like oh you're gonna be an architect, like you know what I mean?
No.
Like you'll be great in like in your life.
Yeah.
But it's on you to get to that point.
Because
But what if you fail in everything, every aspect, but you are great on changing people's ideas or changing people's life because you came in their life.
But then you're great.
Okay, you're great, but you're not great to society.
fuck society. At that point, no, but
Well,
not I get that, but I'm just like, what does society like matter?
because because you need money to grow. You need society sees and dictates a portion of your life. You said it yourself. If God was meant for the poor, then success is never a measure
For
to be
people
met.
that
It
believe in
wasn't
God.
meant for the poor. It got popular within the poor
Oh,
because they're like they had something to believe in.
Mhm.
Like, it's okay if I have nothing. Like the rich eat this every day, I can't eat,
Mhm.
but it's okay because like if I believe in God, then when I pass on to my next life,
Mhm.
like I will eat bread and be rich like
Mhm.
the rich are now. That's why the rich were like, no, no.
Mhm.
Like, I'm rich. I should have that place.
But the rich also at that time were
Shitty people.
they weren't shitty people. They were believing a different religion.
yeah.
So you're now we go back to the whole religious wars and religious issues that we have today. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The fight for religion.
yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is look, I get where you guys are coming from, but she does sermons. Her name is Joyce Myers. She said this is where it kind of taps in on both of you guys. She said you're allowed, you can become a Christian and still have a miserable life.
Yeah.
A miserable life, but there's steps to where you don't have a miserable life.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you could still believe in God and be fucking miserable as fuck, or you can believe in God and have a great life. But these are the steps if you want to have that great life. That doesn't mean that what is at the end is not like it's not for you. It's like both roads like equal God. But you can have a fucked up life with God or you can have a good life. It just depends on you what, like you said, when it comes to free will.
Yeah, but I literally just had this conversation yesterday night
Yeah.
with my aunt. We go to the different things of now. We go into your sense of definition, that lady, of what is a good life compared to my sense of definition of what is a good life.
Yeah.
It's interpreted to each other,
Yeah.
everybody else.
For me-
to each their own, basically. You know.
Yeah, because for me, a good life could just be like always being around family.
Yeah.
To another person, it would be like having a shit ton of money.
Yep.
To another person, it could be freaking like I
Kind of
said.
got what, Danny? Elaborate on that.
No, I kind of figured. I was like,
let's turn the
I thought
the
I kinda
dilemma.
figured- I kind of thought she was already something.
You think you felt it?
Well, I just like
what his gaydar sensors like.
she just gave me
What I
like
mean, what I mean,
she was gonna do that eventually. Like it was gonna come
Yeah.
out. Like she was eventually gonna do something like that.
hey, the thing is like being like, well, you're not even part of that community. Huh? Like, you are, but you're not.
Do you consider yourself part of the community?
I don't understand why people. I don't know. I don't understand why people like.
Shame on her for that.
Yeah, like for what? Like that's why I don't like social media. This is why
See, that's free will,
I deleted
bro.
it for 10 years.
It's free will right there.
I didn't like it, and he always tells me, he goes like, "Oh, did you hear about this artist?" I'm like, "No, because I don't fucking follow that shit." Like they
When everyone was dying from overdose, I'm like,
are not related to me. Like there was a girl today.
Like a lot of people were overdosing.
There was
I'm
a
like,
girl today. We were driving. We were going to Costco, and I guess there was some girl in the car in front of us. She had a mic, like a freaking mic, and was saying some shit about Chris Brown, how he's like a woman beater, and I don't know what.
Doesn't
like,
accept.
what, like,
It
what
doesn't
is
help
going on
the
with Chris
lower
Brown? Like, I
minority.
don't follow that stuff on social media.
And I was like, oh,
And what was she? Was she talking about like?
Chris Brown.
But what was the main topic? Was it like?
No,
He's a
she
piece
was
of
in her
shit.
car. Like he's a piece of shit. That he's a piece of shit. That he's a woman beater and like all this stuff. Like, but if I was like, what?
But did
What
he-
happened? Like for her to do that? Like, what? Like, what's the point? Like, do you think what you say is gonna get across to people? Like, no, they're still gonna listen to him. It don't matter. Like, they
his
think
fan
he's
base
fine.
still
Like, it's fair.
fucking-
Like,
he's
you
still
know what I mean? Like,
people still go to his concerts.
He's
like,
relevant.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
still
Like,
relevant.
I
Yeah.
just don't get it. Like, I feel like this social media is just for fame, but to me, it's just a bunch of
It's paying the bills,
nonsense
right?
and bullshit.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like
pays
it
a lot of
causes-
people's
Yeah.
bills.
Like it makes other people, like it makes people that are not famous, like right, like us, right? Like we're not famous, but what I'm saying is, I feel like it gives a different perspective to others. Like I have to look like that. I have to be like that. You know, like
Kim Kardashian.
like yeah, like you don't need to look like that because she may have a nice body, but her face is not pretty. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things. Like, and I feel like everybody now, and especially the younger generation, and
What?
I'm like worried about my
I don't know what
kids
he's
because I don't know
saying.
how it's gonna be.
You don't think so?
No, I'm saying I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Like that's all just bullshit to me. That's why I like deleted social media because I'm like, it's always about artists. It's always about like, look at this girl. Oh look, she's wearing this, or she got plastic surgery, or this, or like this guy is trying to look like Ken. Like
They make you like
cares?
Ew, that'd be ugly
yeah,
as
like
fuck.
they make you to like.
Someone looking
Yeah.
like Ken would be ugly.
There's a guy like there's
He's
a guy.
fucking
and a girl.
He already got. He had to
He's
go
fucking
into.
ugly.
He almost
as fuck,
died.
too.
I think he almost died.
Yeah, he almost died recently.
I think he's been close to like that. Like,
Yeah.
couples have behind the surgery.
Like, he
Because
looks
it's too-
ugly.
going too
Like,
far.
he looks
Yeah,
ugly
it's
as
like
fuck.
nasty,
I'm like,
like-
bro, what the fuck?
Hey, he might be ugly to you, but he's handsome to other people.
Where? I see.
You never know.
Free will. No. Is that
But
his
that's
will?
what I'm saying, is, like, I
Is that
feel
his
a lot of
destiny?
people don't
Maybe.
speak
I
up,
don't know.
and they just
I saw
follow.
it like,
And it's
What do you mean?
like-
Speak up and follow it. What they
Like
say.
free will. Like a lot of people are like, I feel like a lot of people think what's on the news or social media is like how we need to be, or how we need to look, or how we need to, or who we need to hang out with, or how we need to like reflect on ourselves. And I
But
feel like that's not-
isn't that what like God tried doing though, when he was alive?
it wasn't God, it was the people down here.
But isn't back then the same way as social media?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Standing on a pedestal in the middle of downtown speaking about your religion is the same thing as social media.
Oh, and then you're talking about like him talking and someone posting. Like,
No, what I'm saying is like people tuned in.
Jesus posted 2 hours ago.
You know, people
My
tuned
birthday's
in.
coming up.
People tuned
Happy
in.
birthday, y'all.
He turned 2 panes and pescados to feel millions.
2 million likes. That's the question. Is like, what would happen if we did have a modern day Jesus come here? I don't think people would believe it was real.
people still, dude. You could.
What if it's an influencer?
Sorry, that's fucked up.
What if?
I didn't mean to laugh, but I mean I'm just saying like.
Yeah, bullshit.
But an influencer, I don't.
What if he was? He was an influencer to millions.
But he was doing good stuff.
But he still was an influencer.
Influencer that he's like some do like
Okay.
piece of shit, some of them, bro.
Here's the thing: is back then, when it came to people following their religion, obviously Judaism was the main religion.
Mm-hmm.
The Christianity came after Christ. Obviously,
Yeah.
Christ,
Yeah.
Christians, whatever. So you had those ones that were like scholars that were like, it has to be this way. Good Friday,
Philosophers, yeah.
Like, okay, then you had him. It was like, I'm kicking it with the poor, the people that are fucked up, the people that are fucking prostitutes. So they're like, you ain't him. That ain't you.
Yeah.
So he was a different type of influence in their time.
But he still was an influencer.
But he went. I think he.
But you also, what if his idea was there's a limited of people in power, which is like right now the 1%ers. It's not a big crew.
No.
And then you have all of us. In the numbers and business side of it, you'd want to go with the people who have more numbers.
True.
You know what's crazy that you're talking about like influencers like that? Have you seen that? You know who Mr. Beast is, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen how? Like I just saw the video of him making 100 wells in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and then people were like fucking shitting on him for it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, dude, he's literally bringing water, giving people mics and everything.
I thought you said whales. I'm like,
No.
what?
No, yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. But people are shitting on him for it. I'm like, dude, like what? Like, he's helping people, and you're like, oh, he's like.
Akon did the same thing.
Who?
Akon.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff for Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and they doesn't get talked about it much.
Yeah.
Same thing with.
No, but I'm saying that he's literally he made the wells. He made a video about it, and then people were shitting on him for it. Like, oh, you're just over there to get views, and he's literally said, this video, all the views that come to this video, I'm gonna use them to help other people. People are like, oh, you're like, you know what I mean? You're preying off the poor and shit like that. It's like, dude, he's helping people. Like, what the fuck are you shitting on him for? Like, are you helping people? And then the people are like literally shitting on him for like helping people. It's like, you know what I mean? Like how do you see it like in that way? Like.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I mean, in that aspect, it's like it'd be different if he was going over there and giving them useless shit, like iPhones or like
Yeah.
something that's like, okay, bitch, I ain't gonna feed me. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
It that makes sense.
He's helping
wells
they're
help
allowing
fucking
people
yeah.
to, like surviving and just like building up like where they are. But people are shitting on for like how do you find a way to be like, oh, that's bad for those people. You're taking advantage of them.
Because think about it, like he just said earlier, it's like different the way. What's good to some people isn't good to others. Like it may be a good in someone's eyes, but to somebody else it looks like, like they think that he's just doing it for he's doing it for likes, but in reality it's just helping them. Like all he's trying to do is fucking help them. He's using his platform to do something positive, and his own platform is shitting on him.
He even says like
but
he says that
did it?
He's like, if no one else is gonna do it, someone has to do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
But did it? What has stopped them from doing it themselves?
That is true.
It doesn't. You don't need money to dig a hole.
Well, yeah, you do. You need drills.
You don't need. How did the pyramids made?
Huh? Aliens, bro. Come on.
Come on,
How were aqueducts made?
This fool eats Takis for breakfast. Come on, I ain't gonna believe about aliens.
Mr. No Sabo.
Takis for breakfast. Shit.
How were aqueducts created?
Aqueducts? Drills.
How did the Romans create their aqueduct system?
Roman concrete.
Okay. So if these motherfuckers who were like BC, they didn't have no drills, no shovels, no nothing, built aqueducts.
Well, I mean, the aqueducts are like how to explain? They're like what is it like?
Weren't they the first culture to have plumbing?
Huh?
Weren't
Yeah.
they the first culture to have plumbing?
Mm-hmm.
Aqueducts are very important. You not get rid of the water in there because the land becomes unsturdy and they concave and stuff.
Yeah, because the root word duct means lead.
Yeah.
So the lead of the water, like leading, like. Yeah, I didn't learn that in fucking
But
8th grade.
we're talking about they did it. How come they couldn't do it? The people in Africa. The people that maybe people are bashing on him because they're saying why couldn't their own government do it?
I think that.
But then we go back to now like, look, we have a homeless problem here. We have a VA. We have a big VA problem here. How
Oh,
come we don't
yeah.
help ourselves before we help somebody else? Maybe that's why those people are bashing him.
But I mean, he's not even from here.
He's still in California. He's still in
He's
the
from
U.S.,
somewhere.
right? He's a U.S. citizen.
All right.
So we're back.
So a conversation.
So we're picking up on this topic, Danny. I didn't really talk to you about it, but I heard there's little rough waters within the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Was wondering if you'd like to elaborate. Our last conversation, you were gonna try to get your camera back. Did that ever
No, we got
happen?
it back. Yeah, everything's good. We got it back. Everything's cool. Things good. We just took a sit down. That was all. Just
Oh yeah, you.
yeah, we just sit down, sat it down. Everything's clear. Everything's cool. So we're good as of now. Oh, bye. Right there. Right there. Oh, my chin. Oh. So yeah, everything. I just took a sit down and that's it. Higher. Higher. Like that. All right. Okay. So yeah, it just took a sit down, being firm. Hey, what's the situation? That's it. It didn't really take much, honestly. That's all.
Are you gonna do the collab with the homies? The homie that raps. What's his name?
Joaquin. We want to. He already does his own thing, but like I said, he has a lot of ideas, and he's pretty young. He's 23, so I mean, it's like I wouldn't mind because I think like when you have two people like that get excited about music, like I think that like eventually we're both gonna come up with something pretty cool. Like I wouldn't mind just doing some side stuff with him, like either producing or just coming. I mean, if we both end up like working on the same track, like I would love to collaborate in that aspect. What studio?
Oh, the studio here. I don't know. We were supposed to touch bases on that. Kind of left me hanging. See? You want to talk to your man?
Studio?
Yeah. So. Danny, the studio.
This is a studio. What do you fuck? I don't know. Like recording studio?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be pretty cool.
Wait, is he confused?
I think he's confused.
Yeah, because I think I was sleeping.
When you texted us?
No. Last week when you guys were talking, so I was like, I don't know what I mean, I knew we had talked to something about it, but I wouldn't mind. I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be something definitely to look forward to. I just went to last night. I went to my homie's bar. I went to my homie's bar, and he took me to an underground rave, which was like like a couple doors down, and they had this. They had this like sliding. It was crazy because like my homie knew the person that runs it, so like it was funny because it was like they walked us right in. We passed everybody, and they walked right in. And he's like, "Oh, they're with us," and I was like, "What the fuck? Where are we fucking going? Like, what the fuck is this?" We get in there. It was like a little rave, like a small one. Like they were all young. And then they're like younger though, maybe like 21, like barely 21, like young. And then we go to like this bar. They handed me a joint. I smoked. We went to the back. They had a fucking recording studio in the back. I was like, I walk in. I'm like, I pointed at it. I'm like, that's the fucking recording studio. He's like, yeah, my name is this.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? Yeah, we're trying to like, I guess they're barely in process of making that place, but it fucking looked dope. Like I went in there and it was like they opened the door. It was like a fucking garage door, big ass fucking slider. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I didn't even know this shit was here. It looks like a garage or something.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It was dope. So talking about studios, that made me like, fuck, you know, I want to get up on the game already, record some shit. But yeah, that little, it was like an underground rave. I've never seen it. It was like the first time I ever saw it. Oh.
You didn't take your friend.
I had worked. Oh, now we're
Some insider bitterness there.
Damn, bitterness. Yeah, I'm slacking, just working though. Slacking but working.
So like, are you working on it or just working?
I keep reworking it because like it just a part of it doesn't sound right. Like I'll add an element, I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like the original sounded better, you know what I mean? So like I've changed it. Like I started off, it was some jungle bullshit. I was just trying to fucking see what the fuck. Yeah. And the more I went to learn on YouTube, the more I was able to add like unique little elements to it. So it was weird when it first